Hi guys, welcome to screencast for tomorrow's lesson. So we've looked at anatomy and physiology. What we're moving on to now is exercise physiology. Okay, so hopefully this part of the course won't be as heavy as the previous stuff we've done. However, obviously it's still really important we continue to do screencasts because we need to learn this information. So what we're moving on to is diet and nutrition. Okay, so first of all, with regards to diet and nutrition, it's scientifically considered and accepted that diet obviously affects performance. Okay, so a well-planned nutritional strategy, if you want, will support any performer undergoing a training program. So talking about diet and nutrition is really important when it comes to a sports performer. We need to be able to relate on how it affects physical activity and performance. So what we're going to be doing in tomorrow's lesson is, first of all, we're looking at the functions and importance of the components of a healthy diet. So there's 7 components of a healthy diet. We're going to be going through them today. There's 3 main ones, but as I've said, we'll be going through the 7 components. Then also what we're looking at is energy balance related to physical activity. Now, an energy balance is the relationship between energy intake, i.e. the food we eat, the calories we take on board, and energy expenditure, i.e. the calories we burn off due to exercise. And it's just the relationship with regards to how that may work out help. So for example, if you intake a lot of calories and do no exercise, you are going to become obese, which will obviously affect sporty performance. However, if you have it well planned that your nutritional intake is then used expended during exercise, that may help the sports performer with regards to benefiting them. Okay, so that's what we're going to be concentrating on today. This is just kind of like an average balanced diet if you want to be healthy, okay, regards to um, carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. As you can see, um, obviously it's not color coded fantastically well, but carbohydrates is this big one here, and we're looking at about 55% of our actual intake should be carbohydrates. This next one here is fats, which is about 33%, and that's to do with fatty foods such as good fats, so fish oils, etc. And then finally, proteins here, which is about 15%. Like I said, there or thereabouts, they're kind of percentages that we're looking at with regards to components of a balanced diet, but we don't need to focus on them right now. So first of all, 7 key components of a balanced diet. Carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, these are macronutrients. Okay, so this is what we refer to as macronutrients. And the other ones, minerals, vitamins, fiber, water, they are our micronutrients. Right, so for your Cornell notes, obviously it's what you need to be getting down. So first of all, we're going to be talking about carbohydrates. So what is the function? So a lot of the questions will ask you about, or some of the questions, their focus is the function. So the function of carbohydrates. So it's to do with starches and sugars, and then you've got stored in the muscle as glycogen and converted to glucose. Okay, so that is what the function of carbohydrates, and it allows for aerobic and anaerobic energy production. So it allows that long endurance activities such as marathon running, but also the short kind of 800 to 400 meters sprinting, 100-meter sprints. Carbohydrates help with that energy production. That's the function of carbohydrates. And then the source, how we actually get carbohydrates on board. This is through bread and potatoes. Okay, so next one, we've got protein. So again, what is the function of protein? So it's an amino acids from protein are essential for growth and repair of muscle tissue. Now, I mean, I imagine a lot of us know that, for example, if you have a protein shake after training, this helps with repair the muscle after the muscle's had some micro tears, i.e. damage. So you tend to see people having a protein shake post-workout to help repair with that damage that has happened to the muscle. With regard to energy production, it's only if carbohydrates and fats are not available. So it's kind of like the last thing we come to and use for energy. If we have no carbohydrates and fats, we'll then start to use protein for energy production. However, as I said, we're focusing first of all on carbs and fats for energy production. Source, so how to get protein? Several different ways, but kind of like the 3 we need to look at are your milk, eggs, and the meats you eat as well. So there's protein. Okay, so talking about fats, what is the function? So used for aerobic energy as an aerobic energy store. Okay, so it's only used for aerobic energy, so long distance activities solely. The purpose of fats is solely for energy, is solely for aerobic energy, so marathon runners, etc. Provide essential fatty acid stores. Now, what's interesting is you actually get twice the energy yield of carbohydrates. So using fats actually produces twice the amount of energy than it does when we use carbohydrates. So you're getting more worth out of what you're eating essentially when it comes to fats and carbohydrates and energy yield. So source, so saturated fats, so that's your butter and your bacon, which is limited, and then obviously CHD is there's obviously risk factors with some fats, such as saturated fats as coronary heart disease. And unsaturated fats, we get that from avocado, fish oil, and this is effective for endurance oxygen transport, endurance sports such as I've just said, marathon running, long distance cycling, etc. Minerals, so what is the function? So minerals are inorganic nutrients and they're used for bone growth, enzyme formation and breaking down foods to release energy. Now, enzymes are used for obviously aerobic and anaerobic production, and enzymes are vital, okay? So they provide breakdown of foods, and those foods give us energy we need for sporting performance. So enzyme formation, this is important to put down for the function of minerals. Enzyme formation, this is vital as it helps break down food, which gives us energy for sports performance. Source, so where do we get minerals from? We get them from dairy, fish and meat. And then examples, I'm sure we're all aware of calcium being a mineral and helps our bone health, our bones grow. Told it from a young age to drink our milk, etc. We also have iron, which is to do with enzyme reaction, which is positive and needed for sports performance. Then we have vitamins. Now, these are not inorganic, okay? So vitamins are essential organic nutrients, okay, and they maintain healthy body function. And the source is fat soluble, so dairy and meat, and then water soluble, fruit and veg. Key focus is the function here. So essential organic nutrients maintain healthy body function. Fiber, so what is the function? So it reduces cholesterol and it's also good for healthy large intestines. So it reduces our blood cholesterol, which means we're more effective at oxygen delivery and we get increasing blood flow. And then having healthy large intestine function is also to do with helping with digestion. This is quite hard to link to sport, but it's important we know it, and mainly, as I said, the function is important with regards to fibre. Relating it to sport it is quite difficult. And then finally, source for fibre, cereal, fruit and veg. So water, what is the function? So it allows for blood transportation. Now, 90% of blood plasma is made up of water. Okay, so 90% of the blood plasma is responsible for releasing glucose into the muscle. So that's important to know in regards to the function. Also helps regulate temperature via sweat. So when we sweat, that's heat radiating from our skin, from our bodies, which is helping regulate our temperature during exercise. And then finally, hydration. And the source is water, clearly. So get that down. So there are our components. What we're going to talk about now quickly is energy balance. So as I said previously, energy balance is the relationship between energy intake and energy expenditure. The food we eat gives us the energy for energy intake, and then we have the energy we use, or we use that energy to keep our body functioning and go about our daily lives. And just with this diagram here, obviously if you want weight loss, your calories out are more than your calories in, and for weight gain you obviously have a lot of intake of calories and you do not exercise as much, which means we are going to put on weight. Now obviously for different sports performers, some sports performers we need some weight gain, rugby, sumo wrestlers. However, other athletes we don't want to be carrying a lot of excess fat, excess weight. So therefore, weight loss may be something we need to look at. So you have like positive energy and balance. So this is when our calorie intake is greater than our calorie expenditure. And this will lead to weight gain. So if it's burnt off, this will be used for glycogen breakdown to glucose for energy. So that'd be good for sports performance. However, if it is not used and turned into free fatty acids, is then stored as fat, which will not benefit the sports performer. But we're going to look at the positives and negatives with regards to sports performance in tomorrow's lesson. So if you can get those down, I'd appreciate that, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.